In the kingdom of Valoria, where mountains brushed the clouds and rivers sang through emerald valleys, there lay a hidden chamber beneath the royal castle. Inside this chamber was the crown of secrets, a crown said to hold the memories, mistakes, and desires of every ruler who wore it. For centuries, it was kept locked away, for those who wore it could hear the whispers of the past, and many kings had lost their minds under its weight. But Princess Amara was different. She was 16, with hair like spilled ink and eyes that glowed like dawn. She would spend her days climbing the ancient towers, helping the gardeners, and sneaking into the library to read about the Crown of Secrets. Her father, King Alderic, forbade anyone to mention the crown, for he himself had worn it once and had heard the voices of betrayal that cost him his peace. But the kingdom was falling into ruin. Crops were dying, rains had stopped, and a shadow had begun creeping from the black forest beyond the hills. Whispers among the villagers spoke of curses and old debts the royal family had not paid. One night, as thunder growled in the distance and cold winds rattled the windows, Princess Amara tiptoed down the spiraling staircases into the forbidden chamber, a lantern trembling in her hand. She found the crown resting upon a black velvet pillow, the silver and emeralds shimmering like captured moonlight. As she reached for it, a coldness seeped into her bones. "Amara." A whisper, soft as breath, echoed through the chamber. She looked around, but no one was there. Her heart thundered, but her curiosity roared louder than her fear. She placed the crown of secrets upon her head. At first, it was silence. Then came the flood. Thousands of voices, layered and tumbling, filled her mind. Kings begging for forgiveness, queens crying for lost children, the laughter of traitors, the songs of old sorcerers, and the sighs of ancient forests. Amara fell to her knees as visions danced before her eyes. A queen hiding a blood-stained dagger in the roses. A prince whispering a promise to a girl in a red cloak by the river. A child with frostbitten fingers shivering as he watched the castle gates close on him forever. Amara saw a vision of a black dragon rising over Valoria, breathing darkness into the sky. She saw a hidden path in the forest, a glade where an ancient willow wept over a stone circle. "You seek to save your people, child," the voices whispered, "but will you pay the price?" "I will," Amara whispered back, tears rolling down her cheeks. The crown pulsed, and suddenly the voices quieted, leaving behind a single thought, clear and heavy. Amara removed the crown, her breath ragged, and placed it back on the pillow. She wiped her tears and ran up the stairs, her mind filled with the images she saw. The next morning, before dawn, Amara dressed in a green cloak and leather boots, tucked a dagger in her belt, and slipped out of the castle. She left a letter on her pillow for her father, promising she would return with a way to save Valoria. The forest greeted her with fog and dew, the scent of pine and earth wrapping around her like an old song. She followed the paths shown by the crown's vision, stepping over twisted roots and listening for the river's song to guide her. As the sun rose, she came upon the willow glade. There, under the weeping branches, sat an old woman with hair like silver waterfalls, weaving flowers into a crown made of vines. "You came, child of Valoria," she said, without looking up. "My people are starving. The rains have stopped, and a shadow had begun creeping from the black forest beyond the hills. Villagers speak of curses and old debts the royal family had not paid." The willowkeeper's eyes, green as moss, met hers. "The darkness is not outside your kingdom, Ilara. It lies within the unspoken secrets of your family. To save your kingdom, you must uncover the greatest secret of all." Ilara felt the cold wind again, remembering the whispers from the crown. "What must I do?" The willowkeeper stood and led her to the stone circle. In the center lay a pool of water, dark as midnight. "Look." Ilara knelt and peered into the water. Images swirled. Her father, young, arguing with a man in a red cloak by the river. A woman with a crown of thorns clutching a child. A storm over the castle, a promise made in desperation. The water stilled, and she saw herself standing in the throne room, holding the crown of secrets. "You must wear the crown in front of your people and reveal the truth it shows you. Only then will the curse be lifted and the rains will return." Ilara felt the fear clutch her throat. To reveal the kingdom's secrets would destroy their power, but to remain silent would destroy them all. "Will you do it, child?" Ilara nodded, though fear burned in her belly. Ilara returned to the castle under the cover of dawn, her cloak soaked with dew. She entered the chamber once more, lifted the crown of secrets, and climbed to the balcony where the people gathered below, waiting for answers. She placed the crown upon her head, and the voices returned, swirling around her in a storm of memories. She raised her hand, and the people fell silent. "People of Valoria, the curse on our land is born from secrets we have kept hidden for too long." She spoke of the promise King Alderic made to the sorceress of the Black Forest, trading her firstborn in exchange for the rain that saved the kingdom many years ago. She spoke of the child left in the forest who grew into the dark sorcerer now cursing Valoria. She spoke of betrayal, greed, and the power that rotted the hearts of those who ruled. Gasps and cries filled the air, but the clouds above began to swirl, dark and heavy. "We will break this curse, not by hiding from the truth, but by facing it together." As she finished, the first drop of rain fell upon her face, followed by another, and then another, until the entire kingdom wept under the blessing of the storm. The crown of secrets glowed, then cracked, its power spent, falling from her head and shattering on the balcony. Ilara looked up into the rain, feeling its cool blessing wash away the fear. From that day forward, Valoria changed. They planted new seeds, built new bridges, and forgave old debts. The people learned that truth, no matter how painful, was the crown of a kingdom. And Princess Ilara, the girl who faced the voices of the past, became the queen who led them into a future where secrets no longer ruled their hearts. Moral: truth, though heavy, brings rain to parched lands and hope to weary hearts.